Jesus. Okay. Oh my God. I just got off the train all the way to Amsterdam and back. We're at the Bitcoin conference, convention. I don't know what the fuck they're calling it. I'm crossing the street. I don't care. Jaywalking. Yeah, I got sick. I got fucking sick as hell. Seems like everybody in this region has just been sick. That really laid me out. Yeah, and it's funny, just like one day after I got this camera and got set up and wanted to start doing the vlog for real, just went down super hard. Could barely fucking stand. I'm still feeling it, and many days later, it's whatever digital virus is going around the world these days. I don't know what to call it, but basically everybody I know has had it. And you're there on the train, you just feel it. It's like, it's the virus. And it's almost like this sort of, mental virus that's just been rippling through everybody. This fear, this uncertainty, I feel like it's unsettling everybody's immune system even more. And also when we're just getting bombarded with whatever the hell. Although the weather's been pretty mild and relaxed around here. Can't complain about that. Yeah, but can't deny that my spirits have been dampened, weakened, attacked by just being sick and being out of it. I was really sort of starting to fire on more cylinders, getting more done, having more focus. Not necessarily sleeping, but still managing to do quite a bit, and that was very exciting there for a second. And then, but I guess that's life. You get setbacks. You try again. So we're trying again. Here we are. What's up? And still trying to work out how to not be super awkward. How to not be super awkward when doing the vlog. So here's one tact. If I keep my headphones in and I got my phone out here, it's like I'm FaceTiming. I'm just FaceTiming with my friends, and that's like a normal thing to do. Look at that. It's like a spooky lantern. It's kind of spooky. Feeling strong feelings. That was very interesting. I mean, you see some images from the Bitcoin conference. All of that was, I don't know, honestly, a little depressing because it does feel like the fun part's over, even though there was some like cypherpunk anonymous types there talking about, freedom and choice and being anonymous on chain and all that kind of stuff. It was... what can I say? It was like just a bunch of corporate types but that's not really a focus. The focus is more just like, how can we get as much of this Bitcoin in our treasury as possible and keep it for ourselves, and then lend it out to the suckers that didn't get the coin early on. And I have to somehow exit this depressed feeling because I was very early. I was so interested in technology always, and have tried out all these different things. And I was there. I was so early on the dark web, checking out how to buy drugs. I stupidly never bought drugs on the dark web, because otherwise I definitely would have had a wallet and a little bit of extra coin in there, and I probably would have gotten more and more interested in crypto when I was checking that out, whenever that was, in 2010, 11, 12. It must have been that early, but I didn't end up buying until much later. And then had no capital. And I guess that's sort of the philosophy of the day is, lack of focus. It's the same as soon as I even really got into crypto in earnest, I could not retain my focus. I just traded one thing to another thing and tried a million different strategies, constantly like switching and changing the strategy because nothing was really working. And and still to this day, I tend to just try one thing, listen to some influencers, and try something else. Have that not really work out, and that's what makes me sad to think that even back in 2020, I had bought a bunch right after the crash. Bought it on on loan basically, and held it for a while, and was then sort of not tricked, but I found my way into the scam coin industry, and ended up just not being very good at that, and trading coins to a bunch of more sophisticated people that were able to get the money out of me. And I really just didn't have the follow through. I didn't have the attention span. Didn't have the time, because I was working other job, and just couldn't really put my focus into it 1,000%. And that, it just still haunts me to this day. And it's a hard thing to get past, right? When you see your decision making and your time, and you realize, like, man, that was really fucking stupid. And I think to be all around all these like institutional rich business types, where that was the story constantly, like, oh yeah, I found Bitcoin in 2012, and and then I just knew how awesome it was, and I spent all this money on it. Like, I met one guy today that was he was in real estate, and he's like, yeah, no, in 2020, I just put all of my money in Bitcoin. And since, he was a real estate guy, he understood the investment and just left it there. But somebody like me, I have just basically no financial training, no understanding of that concept. And so, I would tell myself, oh, you got to just hold on to this, keep your treasury or whatever. And I wasn't able to do that. And I don't think that's an uncommon story, right? We're all trying to lead uncommon lives, but I think a lot of people did the same, right? They got enamored with the flashy lights and wanted to get those 1,000x gains, and it just, it worked out for some people. It didn't necessarily work out for me. And I don't know, I was talking to somebody else. It's like even your mistakes can happen for a reason, often do, and even when they're incredibly painful and feel like they're weakening to your spirit, they can still be a positive influence. And so I'm still really glad that I went to this thing and met all these people to get this like mindset shift. Because even just a couple days ago, I was like trying to find those scam coins, gambling on them, and it's just dumb, because it's not who I am. I still don't have the time and attention to, like, even if I was good at it, like, properly do it. And so trying to continue doing it just doesn't seem wise. And so if that mindset shift can really settle in, of, have your thesis, have your idea. This doesn't have to be about investing or specifically crypto. I think this can be about anything, your skill set or your general life, right? If you have a strong thesis, you got to hold on to that. You gotta just believe in yourself. I don't know, write it down on your forehead, put it on the wall, and just don't forget that was your plan. And obviously, like, conditions change and things change, and the world is constantly changing. That's this like wild uncertainty that's going on right now. And I feel like it's causing people to like drop their morals and drop their frameworks and behave irrationally, sort of lash out like injured animals. And it's causing quite a bit of conflict and frustration and confusion in the world. And if anything, I hope it's a wake-up call to myself to really, right, have a plan and stick to that plan. And at least as far as Bitcoin goes, that is definitely my plan. I'm not saying I would never speculate ever again on something, but my plan back then, in 2017, 2018, and 2019, 2020, going forward all the way, we're almost to 26. My plan has been, yes, have some fun, meet some people, but you got to save that. You got to have your nest egg. You got to save something, and you got to believe in that, like where you're saving it and what you're doing with it. Because if you don't do that, like you're going to end up with not a whole lot. And especially while I'm not like earning a lot of money yet, right? You have to invest it in yourself and your future, all those other things. But a lot of it is just time, right? Investing in time, repeatable activities. And so that's what I've told myself. And I'm sure I'll have to tell myself again, but that there's at least one place to put your time, to put your energy, to put your money, and to just keep putting it in there. You got to just keep putting it in there, even though that's fucking boring. Like that's not very interesting. And that's what I've read in so many different books, right? The slow way is what's going to get you there. And it's just not very glamorous. It's not flashy, right? It's not going to happen overnight. But those are those long-term gains that, in whatever, in your skill set, in your career, in your portfolio, those long-term gains are what's going to then appear like unsurpassable to others. Just like, I was just up there looking at Winklevoss twins or whoever and thinking, damn, you are so far out in front. That was it. Yeah, that's that multi-generational wealth. Unless things drastically change, I don't really expect to ever achieve. And I guess that is the enticement towards doing riskier things, right? Because you hear these stories of people that do go from $100 to $100 million just by making the right decisions. I didn't do that yet. Maybe there's still room for that kind of thinking. But there's got to at least be a significant portion where you're just doing the boring part, where you're just stacking it away. And yes, even though I got sick and bailed on this thing for a couple days, I do want to keep doing it. If anything, just to like let these ideas settle and just not talk to like another person, but like talk to you guys, talk to myself, and metabolize that a little bit. I mean, I'd still like to write more too, but so much of my like life just lives up in my head, and I feel like the neuroses congeals and gets worse, gets more illogical, and that's what like leads you to that unrational thinking, that chaotic mind that does things like take money out of your savings and throw it into gambling, or just unwise financial decisions. And I'm hoping through that metabolizing that we can end up with something just a little more meaningful, right? I still have no plan with what I'm going to say or what I'm going to be doing. But taking those tiny little steps, I think, is going to actually show some progress, right? So even though there is no plan for this, I think just starting at the first step of doing it is going to do something, right? I certainly hope so. And I guess that's the point when you're trying different things, you don't know where they're going to lead, and that makes them easier to sort of bail on and give up, and then you never know what would happen if you kept at it, and you can't live all of these different lives where you're following through on all of these different things. So I guess it's the same as with the investments. You sort of have to pick one, maybe two things to heavily invest in. You can still sort of dabble in the other things, but at least one of those things has to be non-negotiable. Otherwise, you're just at the mercy of the whim of the universe, and it could just turn you over and get you in the right spot randomly. That could randomly happen, but it's quite a crapshoot. And we're talking about your whole life, my whole life. I don't know. Keep noticing the strangest thing when my interaction with technology, I guess it mirrors my interaction with the crypto space. Today, when I went to go scan my ticket, they scanned my ticket, and it's just the QR code on my phone, but it goes X and it doesn't work. And then the guy is like scrolling through his POS system and trying to figure out what's wrong, and it's like he's got this look in his face like, I've never seen that. I haven't seen this all day. I don't understand. And that happened yesterday when I went to scan it too, and it just didn't work. And I was like, what's up with my ticket? Like, why am I this like singular outsider where I broke the tech? And the same when I was scanning my ticket to get on the train, it's like, I checked in. I could have sworn I checked in, and I got on the train. And when I went to scan out, it says, you're checking in. Like it didn't register that I had checked in. And this is something I like consistently notice in my tech experience, that like there's these unexplainable glitches. Like I'm paying attention, I swear. I'm paying attention to what's going on. And then just something completely inexplicable happens. Like I have no idea. I have no idea how that happened. And it's also not repeatable. It's just like, oh, the proof, it's gone. That the file disappears. Just like, and you're like, am I misremembering something here? Did I make a mistake? And I'm like, no, I swear I did that thing. Or I scanned that. But something like that, especially when you're like interacting with other people, it becomes not explainable. Like the QR code literally didn't work, even though I totally bought the ticket and everything there. And then I get all paranoid. It's like, am I flagged in the system? Are the demons fucking with me? Like, why wouldn't it scan? Why wouldn't it scan? And I don't have an explanation for you other than, yeah, just sort of the grand pattern of this reality that things, as above, so below. Things repeat up and down. They don't exactly copy each other, but they rhyme. And it's almost like my love affair with technology and my dabbling has like caused a fork in the system. And it's like triggering these errors. And I know it's like kind of mystical, but that's sort of how I see it. And yeah, I don't know still whether to like take it personally, let it bring me down, or just to marvel at my own personal power to create these glitches and errors. And or it's just, a coincidence, confirmation bias. But after so many coincidences, it gets sort of hard to explain away. But that's my rant. There it is. If you listen to this, drop a comment. That's wild. I'd love to hear from you, your thoughts, or any ideas, even just an emoji. That's what's up. That's what's up. I hope you keep it real.